still.
Okay, sound speeds. Sound 1 speeding.
Hey.
Sound 2 speeding. Space is on the bay.
Do you go by your last name as well, or do people just know you Kennedy?
Kennedy. Most
Okay,
people
good.
can't say my last name.
Perfect.
So yeah.
Okay.
Mostly Kennedy.
Camera beat speeds. All right.
Yay.
All right, so this is the main camera, but you can also use this as the additional camera because I'm getting a 2-shot of both of you as well.
Sweet.
Okay.
So yeah, actually I'm doing it both, so you can do back and forth whenever you want.
Good.
Okay.
All right. All right, what are we naming this episode?
This would be first dynamic.
First dynamic?
Yeah, self.
All right. Prosper, first dynamic. Take 1. Mark.
Hello. Welcome to Vulnerability. I am your host, GoddessProsper. This is my lovely guest, and Kennedy is here with us to teach us about something that I think as people we don't realize a lot about. And to start off, we're going to talk about ourselves. I know it sounds like a boring conversation, but really, who are you without yourself? One thing about myself is that I really enjoy discovering myself. And I think everybody should be discovering themselves first before they go out to do anything else about anybody else. And when you master yourself, then you can do other things with other people. So Kennedy is, she has inspired me so much because she has a product called Keys to Ubuntu. And I met Kennedy at the beginning of 2019. And
literally on January 1st.
Oh my God, yeah, that's right.
2019, literally on January 1st.
It was January 1st, 2019. And I was just like this bright, beautiful flower that has so much to offer. And you're at the beginning of your journey with Keys to Ubuntu. Or how far along were you?
In the beginnings. Yes,
beginnings?
definitely. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so tell us about what Keys to Ubuntu is.
Okay. Am I looking at the camera or am I looking at you?
You're looking at me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry. Okay. Keys to Ubuntu is a keychain that allows you to get discounts at different businesses with an emphasis on diversity. So Black owned, Latinx owned, Native American, Muslim, Middle Eastern, anybody who's African descent or identifies that as that, you get a discount with their business. And the money from the keychain sales goes back to local grassroots organizations. So we can start circulating our dollars back into our communities properly. I started it from just seeing a need for Black-owned businesses needing more support and being pillars in our community and really holding space for us and holding safe space for us. Because at that time, there were a lot of, police brutality, a lot of things were happening where people were getting kicked out of certain places or just weren't welcomed in certain places, as it has been historically, sadly, for a long time. So just really rising up and really uplifting Black-owned businesses and letting them get their support that they need and all of the roses that they need for it. And just, allowing people to get a discount with it, because who doesn't love a discount? Who doesn't love to save money? And it's just a way to be able to circulate our dollars within and for our communities, and also put an emphasis on the word Ubuntu and the philosophy behind it. Ubuntu is a Nguni Bantu word, which is a Southern African word, and it's more of a personality and not so much of like a word to describe, but a personality trait of someone who's hospitable, who's very kind, who gives, who wants to uplift other people. So that's something that I really want to emphasize for business owners and the people who use it, is that we're uplifting each other, that we're being hospitable, we're able to give to each other, because we don't give enough to each other. We take, and that shows in the earth and the way we take care of Mother Earth. So just really giving back to each other and showing that side of it. So yeah, that's kind of the basis of what Keys to Ubuntu is, for the most part, the foundation of it.
I love that you talk about this energy that you're giving back to others. But what really stuck with me was the personality trait. That personality trait, because it's someone who, can you say that more about that? It's someone who is.
It's basically Ubuntu is coined by Desmond Tutu and Nelson Mandela in Southern Africa or South Africa during a time of apartheid. So a time where people were being discriminated against, people were being killed for their color, the skin of their color, the color of their skin, if I could talk, the color of their skin, being killed for that. So just really showing people like we all are one, that we all can be these nice and gentle and hospitable people. And also
tea time.
Yes.
Yes. There we go.
Seem like we're in our like little cave right now.
Okay, tea
Our
time.
goddess cave.
So, tell me if we're recording still.
Yes.
Okay, good. So the tea that I'm doing today is, and Colleen, there's tea for you too. Yummy tea time. So this tea is purple tea, and well, it comes out blue or purple, and it comes from Thailand, and it is oh my goodness, what do you call it? A pea flower tea. So
okay.
pea flowers actually are an anti-HIV tea. So I know
Okay.
like there'll be tons of things that I want to share with you guys. Like I want to just open up the world of healing so people can find healing through ourselves. And that's why this is about self. So you want to start with your little things, the basic things. And when you find those basic things, and you'll be able to be hospitable and be the kind of person that can offer things to others. But if you don't take care of yourself, then there's nothing you can do outside of it because you're stuck trying to give when you don't have a surplus and you want to give from a surplus. So cheers to some good, delicious tea. I don't know if it's too hot still. It probably is, but I hope you like it.
Yes.
Cheers.
Yes.
And I sweetened it a little bit. It's good. You like it? So, and it also helps circulation in the body. It also helps you to grow your hair, nails, skin. It is a really fabulous, beautiful purple flower that grows from peas. Like we're talking the same peas that you like
the green
the
peas
little
that
peas that
the
you
kids hate.
Those peas. That's what we're talking about here. So,
I love it. Okay.
I got at the store down the street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brooklyn tea?
No.
Yes.
The Indian shop on Nostrand and what do you call it? Is that Hancock right there? Is that Nostrand between Halsey and Hancock off of Nostrand? It's a little Indian shop. I don't remember.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Alive or you'll find it.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. They have the yoga studio upstairs.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that's where I got that purple tea from.
Okay.
And I didn't know what it was. I first was just like, oh, this is cute. And when I read up about it, I was like, anti-HIV? What? And then here's the other thing. Trying to find like seeds for it are really hard. Really hard. It's like you have to like go to Thailand because they'll charge you like a bundle just to get some seeds. Because obviously somebody doesn't want them over here.
Yeah.
So
You know how that goes. The HIV too.
Exactly.
Yep.
So back to like, okay, keys to Ubuntu. I feel like for your journey, I want to hear more about like what had you pick up and give so much of your time. What did you have to do to prepare yourself to take on this challenge?
Well, I would have to back up a little bit because I really kind of started it on top of like wanting to support businesses and really wanting to bring this to the community because of the Ubuntu philosophy, on top of just like our community needing the support as far as financially, spiritually, communally, in every way. But it goes back to, honestly, my mother definitely plays a huge role. She is a Black educator and definitely a coupon collector, hoarder, whatever you want to call it, a saving queen. So a lot of it came from that. It's just like, I knew I wanted to help people save money and be able to provide, because I know that that's such an incentive to help businesses, spend, like businesses get money, is providing a discount. So going back to your question, preparing myself as far as just like running a business and starting it, really knowing what my skills are and what I'm willing to learn and grow with. There's something that somebody told me from a job I worked years ago was, is it a skill or will thing? Is it something that you are willing to continue to learn about? Or is it a will thing that your inner being, your inner push has to continue to go through? And always leveling what it is you're doing and what it is you want between those two things. Is it something I just am not able to do because I don't know that skill? Or is it something that inside I need to get past this hurdle to do? So really having that mindset definitely pulls me forward with a lot of it, and just preparing to be able to take on something like this, because in my mind, and I know for sure, this is a movement. It isn't something that I see dying in a year or two after it hits its peak. This is something that I work hard to sustain, and sustainability. And that's something that a lot of businesses and people and organizations don't really look towards. They look for, I have to just work for the next day or work for the next 24 hours, and not looking for something to sustain. So really preparing myself and making sure I'm laying down the foundation, whether it's slowly, whether if it happens in a week or a day or years, just like making sure I'm laying the foundation and laying a brick every single day for it.
Nice.
Yeah. So just really preparing myself and like working from that mindset, and working from like, this is something I want to sustain. So it's not going to all be perfect in a day or a month or a year or 5 years. Like it's just not like that. You know, it's just not that easy. So
Yeah.
yeah.
People don't see the work that you're doing every day. They're seeing just the outcome, and then they're like, wow, that's so cool. You created that. And they don't get all of the effort that you put into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Imagine.
Yeah.
What's that thing that you do to take care of yourself? What's that self-care thing, that one thing that you're just like, this keeps me going even when I know that it's your life save?
Movement, dancing. I like, that is my biggest thing. My love language is physical touch. So, and not even, it doesn't have to necessarily be with like actual intimate relationships, but like I love massages.
Yeah.
I definitely do those. I'm a very self-care, take care of myself. But you said one, but I guess I have a few.
No,
You gotta have a few.
You have to have a few.
You have to have a few.
It's not just one.
Yes, but movement, dancing. I am someone, I love to dance. I love all music, so that's helps me move energy through my body. Whenever I feel stuck or stagnant or just like mentally fog over me, I definitely try to move and just sing and dance to move. And then massage or just any type of like bath work, things like that. And then cooking. I love to cook. I love to sustain.
Yeah.
I'm a Cancer moon, so we're all things home and comfort and everything. So that definitely plays into it, is like really taking care of myself. And those are times where like I'm taking care of me. I don't have kids, so I'm not cooking for someone. I don't have a spouse, so I'm not cooking for someone. I'm mostly all doing it for myself. So it's really nice to be able to take time, because I do so much in the community, that I have those to be able to come to myself and unwind and just have peace and comfort. So that's my biggest thing that I definitely try to make sure I do at all times, to be able to come back to myself. Yeah.
I think that sometimes people, they do, like, I was listening to this one audio, and it was talking about how people just like get up in the morning, they brush your teeth, take a shower, they just rush out the door, and it's like boom, out the door, done. And they're like on the train, and they're probably trying to grab a coffee or grab a sandwich, and it's just, you're so not grounded into yourself when you do that kind of stuff. And one thing that I find, that when I find people who are successful or who have that thing that they're living out their dream, they're really building out their dream, they're putting in those self-care things.
Yes, you have to.
As if it's like the gold, that they're laying the foundation, because it is like a basic foundation thing to have success.
Yeah, we work towards, a lot of people, I guess, work towards having peace, like being able to go on vacation, having that like time to slow down. And we don't realize that we have a moment to slow down in every single moment of our life. Like I constantly tell myself, because we live in New York City, everybody's so walking so fast. Everyone needs to get there. You want to get to your train. Like you were saying, you just have places to be. And I really try to intentionally walk slow and really be very mindful of walking, and really saying like to myself, I say it constantly to myself, what is your rush? Like, what is your rush? Because That's something like, I'm like, as I'm going to get there. Like, I promise it's going to be fine. Like, I'm not an ambulance. I'm not an EMT where somebody's life depends on me, you know, rushing. It's very like, you know, take your time. You know, you never know. Taking your time allows you to look up and see things and, you know, take in certain things that may be aligning or wanting to call out for you to look at and will align with you and are working towards what you're working towards. So really taking like that and really walking slow. But yes, self-care, you have to. I no doubt in my mind, you have to put in your regimen. Exactly. There's no way around it.
Are you a native New Yorker?
No, I'm not. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada. Born and raised. I've been here 6 years. Nice. 6 years now. Yeah.
Do you feel yourself moving like a New Yorker sometimes? Like
I do.
You do?
Yeah, yeah. Especially when I go to the bodega and I talk to my bodega people. My best friend's always just like, you could just tell you're from here. I'm just like, but I'm not. Or I get people who think like they say I speak like I'm from here, but no, Las Vegas, West Coast.
What's the one unexpected surprise that you were able to obtain out of going on the journey to really live your dream? Like, it was unexpected. Like, it was not like, this is not on the plan, but because you had the time to put into your dream, voila.
Honestly, the amount of support that I've had from people from all over. Like, I've always had one specific, growing up, I've always had one specific goal is like, I wanted to help the Black community, only be around like specific people who are doing that. And yes, that's still aligned, but like other people, like I work at a Jewish community center, which is not exactly an aligned of like what I do, but like that's helped tremendously, like different people from all over. And that's kind of the backbone of Ubuntu. Like it kind of ties back to that. It's like, we're not these, you know, different colors and different cultures and different races and nationalities. It's like, we're one being and we all like, when you really get down to the nitty gritty, we want to be understood and we want to be loved. And like those things like go in line with each other. And like, when you're able to accept and receive it, it may not always look how you expect it to look, but it's there. You know, you'll know that energy when it's there. Mm-hmm. And that's the one thing that's come very unexpected is like the amount of support from people who are not necessarily from the community that I grew up in or from the community that I've kind of pitched a lot of my work around, but from people who just see the vision and like have the love and like able to understand, like understanding of it. So that's definitely the biggest surprise is that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's really, really beautiful.
Yeah.
What is the one thing that if you could share a beauty regimen or a beauty routine that really matters to you the most that you could share with other women that you would be like, this is something I do, it's my secret. Would you give it away and what would it be?
Yes, of course I'd give it away. You know, what's funny is like, I feel like I just started getting like a beauty regimen. Like I don't want to be like that person, but like, I'm very natural. I'm very holistic. We share that very in common. Yeah. So I'm very like anti like these products that are sold in stores. I think that everything comes from nature. So everything I use for a beauty regimen, like I have some acne that's come from like wearing the mask and just like hormonal stuff. And like, I live by aloe vera. Like I rub that on my face. I literally went to the gym yesterday with mango juice on my face. Wow. Like, you know, so like I'm very about natural. Like, so when it comes to, I worked at a medical spa and, you know, with that, it's, you know, Botox and all these other regimens. I'm just like, oh, I'm not really about that life. If you are, you know, no hate, each their own. But like, I'm very natural. So I always look into like what oils I can use that are natural, that go well with my skin, and just like different fruits and vegetables. Like they're here for us. We in my philosophy, we come from them, and they're here to help us be nutrient and very just take care of us. And I think that they have a lot to give us outside of just eating and consuming them in a way through our throat. There's different ways that they can be used. And that's a huge thing. It's just like using different vegetables and fruits and herbs for your actual skincare. And that's the biggest thing. And tea. Tea is mine. Tea helps. Tea is a detox.
Seriously, like mango?
Tea? Yes.
Yum.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Mango, I literally will peel and make my smoothie and just rub it on my face, and that's my skincare regimen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mango.
Yeah. Yeah. That's something.
I know. It's really good. It's really good. That's a good one. I use as my, people are like, oh, Prosper, your face looks, I like my face to be matte. I don't like a greasy or oily look. Yeah. So my big deal that I do is I take diatomaceous earth and I powder my face with diatomaceous earth before I put anything else on. So like
Interesting.
I literally like will put like I will moisturize with shea butter, which is like so oily and so great. People go, "Oh my god, but how do you do that?" So my thing is that after I do that, then I take some diatomaceous earth and I powder my face, and then I spray water, like rose water, on it. And then I start with my makeup. And of course, you have like a really white base. So you have to like make sure that you're using a warmer tone to like really warm yourself up, because you're starting with a really white base.
Yeah.
And that is how I get myself really matte.
Interesting. I love it. That actually sounds like super ideal, especially because you use the shea butter too. So that like helps mattify and not use so much oil on your skin.
Silica is really what it is. And so diatomaceous earth is silica. And one thing about silica is it takes away fine lines. It exfoliates your skin at the same time. And so it really keeps you youthful for a very long time. And you could just like put a little in your water and drink it. It helps your hair and nails grow too. I'm really all about like things that make your hair and nails grow.
Yeah,
You
are. You very are.
Like,
Yes.
You're like, you cut your hair again, and then you're like, wait, it grew again.
Yeah.
So if I could give away my little secret, that's my one big secret: silica.
And no stress. That's the thing.
No stress.
Don't do things that are stressful. Like that's how lines happen. People like this all the time. That's definitely number one for sure.
I have a routine in the morning, and this routine will don't keep your mind out of the gutter. So I have a routine that's like touch yourself. So I touch myself in the morning, and I literally will like start with my hands on my chest and my heart, and then I'll move down, and then you move down. And then you just move down till you get like all of these parts. And then I get like down to my knees or whatever, like I'm like touching myself. And then I'll come back up to my heart and I just hug myself. And then I'll warm my body up and really like not fast move it, but just like slow. Yeah. And touching myself is one of the biggest things. One of my teachers, my Tantra teacher, Sam Isadora, she's no longer with us. She's transitioned. And she's always taught about a touching yourself routine. And you're breathing 6 seconds in, 6 seconds out. Yeah. And you're touching yourself. And that's how I wake myself up in the morning. And I will not get out the bed till I spend it's 5 minutes. It's not like a million times. Like it's not a lot of time. 5 minutes, and I'll be like, hey, your yell at box machine, whatever you want to call it. I'll be like, hey, I don't want to say it because I have so many of them. Like maybe one of them will answer. I'm like, hey, will you set an alarm for 5 minutes? And then I'll set the alarm for 5 minutes and then just go through that. And then once I'm done with that, I'll set an alarm for 17 minutes, sit up, and then meditate, and then get out of bed.
Okay, this is a nice regimen to use.
So
yes,
I will definitely be using the mango.
Yes, we will have to. We'll keep each other updated on how this works. I love it because it's very grounding. Helps bring you back to it because we go into an unconscious state when we're sleeping, and obviously we leave our bodies in ways getting deeper, but yes.
Exactly.
So it's nice to be able to so it's nice to be able to come back, and also it's like self-affirming, like very I'm here, I'm loved, before you go out and energy is spread through the world. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like for those 17 minutes, I usually just say thank you, thank you, thank you. Like whatever thought that rushes in my head. People go, well, how do you meditate? Well, as my thoughts come rushing into my head, the real ideal thing for me to do is just say thank you. And like as another thought will come in, I'm like, oh, thank you. Another thought, oh, thank you. Because I want to dismiss the thought, honestly, so I can get clear. Because the thing is that you wake up and then everything rushes in your head. You're like, I got to do this, I got to do that. And I have that long list of things. And the other thing is keep a piece of paper that I can write and list my things down on that I have to do.
Yes, I write every morning too. Every morning.
Every morning writing and a list. Like just jot down my list. Like my list is separate from my writing. So it's like I have to do this for my daughter and I have to do that for my mom, or I needed to take care of the thing for myself. And then I'm checking that list off, and I keep these lists and they accumulate, and then I keep as I cross them off, then I consolidate them down to one list, consistently consolidating them down to one list. That list is never going to end. It's always going to go on for the rest of your life. You're always going to have things to do. And I feel like that is like big deal for me. Yes. Are you a reader? Readers are leaders.
Yes, I am. I am very much a bibliophile for sure. I just started reading Tribal Leadership, which is about just like leveraging like groups that are a part of organizations and being able to like increase and promote company culture. And being able to help people feel like they're not just workers and employees of a company, but allowing them to put their special skills and traits and just their own ideas into your company as well too, because a lot of the time we get so caught up in just like, this is my business, this is my company, this is my vision, this is how I want it to be, and like these people are going to work for me because they need the money or they need this or their skills align with this, but we don't necessarily tap them to be like, what are you thinking? Like, how can you be, you know, an asset to this company as well too? So I'm liking it so far. It's really helped with keys to Ubuntu and my own work. But yes, definitely a reader. Absolutely. I give people books as gifts. So that's my thing for sure.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Readers are leaders, and I really do
Absolutely.
truly believe in that. So inside of being like a self-generated person and being able to be the one that will be able to give to others, I always think about like a formula. I don't know if you have a formula. Like, I have a formula, and my formula is like read and listen to books, read books and listen to lectures daily. Associate with those who are like-minded. Also self-care, like hygiene, like huge on the hygiene, which is like so particular. I just like think that it's just like little things, like cleaning out your ears properly, like really getting in there, like those little details, like getting behind your ears. And I know that people go, oh, well, come on, Prosper, you know about these things. And people know about these things, but not everybody actually knows about these things. You'll like walk by somebody and you'll be like, or I see somebody with their child and they haven't cleaned out their child's ears. And for me, that really brings home a conversation of abundance. Like the universe can reach you better when those little like
all that muck and stuff and energy off of you. Yes. And not so much physically, but yes, like spiritually in every way, but it does go out through the physical.
What's your winning formula?
Ooh, my winning formula. Always standing rooted in purpose and like what I love, and that brings me joy. Like definitely staying rooted in that, and always having intention whenever I move through certain things and take on certain responsibilities or tasks or people, whatever it may be. And also self-care, like no doubt about that. And doing the things that really just make me happy, no matter what people think, how crazy it may be, how it may not be, you may not be able to capable to do it in that moment, but having that idea and having those goals to work towards, and just like not being stopped by other things, not letting your voice be silenced and fearing what other people may think. Because for years I always feared that I was too much, that my ideas were too much for people. And now as I've gotten older and just more comfortable and like have seen how life has opened up, abundance, going back to that, how life has opened up once I was able to kind of, you know, make that my intention and make that something that like I can't negotiate it with, you know, I have to continue to do those certain things.
Beautiful.
So yeah, that's mine, but definitely self-care for sure.
Okay. I have a hard one for you here. Ooh. So we've all been through COVID. We've all been through this pandemic. I say pandemic sometimes, but we'll call it pandemic today.
Pandemic.
So what have you lost anybody?
No, I don't feel like I haven't. I've like had people who were like 2 people down, or like one person like I knew who was close that like somebody passed away in their family, but not anybody, thankfully, not anybody very close to me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Have you, what's my other one? I wanted to know specifically, have you been lonely? A lot of people are dealing with loneliness. A lot of people are like not as social as they'd like to be. Have you dealt with loneliness? I know I have.
You know what's funny? I don't feel like I'm ever lonely. I have this saying where it's just like, you're never alone. You always have yourself. Yeah. And I feel like, as per a lot of people, I think during the pandemic, they really kind of tapped into themselves. And I feel like I've been preparing for something like this for so long, of like the world coming to like scarcity and all these people running around scared. And I feel like it really made me come more out and provide the things, the services, the knowings that I know. And it made me feel a lot more connected to people. And I also just like, no, I don't feel like I was very lonely. And it's not that I had a partner or like was with anyone, but more so just like I did everything like as if the world was going to end.
I love it.
Like I just lived my life, and not so much like going out and being reckless and dangerous, but more so like I was skating. I like danced everywhere I could. Like, you know, I cooked all the food I wanted to cook. Like I just did the things that like, if this was the last day, you know, being dramatic, but like if this was the last day, this is what I would do. And I did that, and it really brought me such a sense of just like being here and groundedness and everything. So I didn't feel as lonely. Thankfully, like I had an online community. I had my job. I work with kids, so like they kept me very rooted and not so much like, oh my gosh, there's no hope. There's, nothing and what people have gone through and everything and just witnessing what's going on. But no, not so much. I don't feel like that was like a huge thing as I've seen a lot of people struggle with.
Nice.
Thankfully, I'm able to enjoy my solitude and really love being by myself.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I know, like, for myself, what I realized that I was fine up until I went to Ecuador to go see my mom. I was totally fine. Like, I was like in my space, alone.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm happy. Having my mom and my daughter and my mom's husband around me, and just like being in there, like with I call him my papa. My mom's husband, he's my papa. So I have like this great, like I'm at home. I'm speaking Spanish. I'm speaking French and a little English here and there, and I'm feeling really good and feeling myself. And coming back to New York.
Oh, yeah, because you were with your fam.
It smacked me straight in my face, and I was like, oh, I missed them so much.
Yeah.
And I had the loneliness. And you know what the next thing was? I had to get busy.
Yeah.
I had to get busy.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, you go back into you gotta find your pieces again.
Mm-hmm.
And even though you have these pieces that formulate who you are, like that your winning formula, you have to find it back again, because you can lose it.
Yeah.
You can lose yourself.
Yeah. And that's that grounding piece. Is like, you're still safe. You still have those things. Your mom is still there. Your daughter's still there. Like, all those things are still a part of like you and that experience, and they're fuel.
Yeah.
I see it as like they're more fuel. Like they give you more of a reason and purpose as to why you come back and get busy and do the things that you do. So.
Oh yeah, winning formula, cooking food. You said it about cooking food.
Yeah.
That is one of
Yes.
We must cook our own food.
Yes.
We must know how to take care of these beautiful bodies that we live in.
We should.
To keep them beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it's all here.
It is.
We have everything that we need. That's something I always tell myself. We have everything we need.
Yeah.
This world provides it in amazing ways, and we have to keep tending to it, because if we don't, it's going to dwindle, and it's, we have to make sure that we take care of it.
What's your superpower?
Oh, my superpower. Be able to talk to anybody, either whether I want to or not. It's that's my superpower. Honestly, I feel like, and I don't mean to say, and I think New York kind of made me really realize that.
Yeah.
As I feel like I can literally talk to anybody, as long as I can speak English, because I don't speak other languages. But even then, look, I chop it up with people who don't speak English sometimes. So, but
communication.
That very intuitiveness. But yeah, just talking to people. I feel like I have I want to say a humbleness that I feel like I can always come down and be able to see how other people are and understand what they've gone through and really see them, and not just like assume or stereotype them, but like really see them and have a conversation with them, or just to be able to talk to them and take off this like shield or face that we may put on because we're women. We live in this huge city, and we go through things that not everybody goes through, especially when you have an energy that's around you that attracts people to you. You have a protectiveness that you feel, and being able to like flow in that, and being able to love your femininity and love those aspects of you, and be able to share it with people and still know you're protected. I feel like that's definitely a superpower. So being able to talk to people on that level is definitely mine, and that's I love it. Even though sometimes it's like, please don't talk to me, and I always end up being friends with somebody, whether I'm at the beach, on the train, by myself. I'll have like the face on, like, please don't talk to me, and they'll just come and sit like I'm just this oracle or something they're waiting for. And I love it. Yeah, I do. I'm very honored, because it means that they see something. It means that I'm doing something right in a way. Which is beautiful. So I can say is my superpower. I know there's probably more, but first thing that came to mind. Yeah.
Is that your vulnerability too?
In ways, when it comes more to like relationship or intimacy, I feel like I have more understanding, and we as Scorpios, we tend to not try to see people's flaws, or we tend to try to go into the deeper meaning of flaws because we want to bring it out or to be able to help them go through it. So I feel like in a way of like intimacy or intimate relationships, definitely it could be a little bit vulnerable, because I'm like, no, it's fine. Like, I want to help you through that. And they're just like, these crappy people, or not so much, but are just like have their own issues that they're not able to go through just yet. Yeah. So, but yeah, not too much, thankfully.
Last question for you.
Yeah.
How will you continue to be vulnerable moving forward to support our community?
Not being afraid of what's really on my mind and how I feel about certain things, because I feel like as a collective, we are waking up and we're having these realizations of the injustices or how intricate certain things are in our lifestyles and our institutions and just our day-to-days. And I have such different opinions of how people go about it and how we as a collective can go about it, as far as just like compassion towards it and having understanding towards it. So just really being able to speak about how I truly feel and my truth about it and my own views about it, and knowing that I'm capable of doing that and my truth is heard and necessary. Especially being a biracial woman in today's society, like that's a huge thing, you know, that we don't talk about enough. So really just being comfortable in my truth and knowing that there is space that's available for it. So that's one way that definitely being more vulnerable with.
Is there something that you carry with you when you need a little bit more strength and energy that you get to like hold, rub, touch, lucky piece, talisman, anything? What is it?
I would say my necklaces. I have these ones that I carry, but there's this one that I have in here. It's my lapis. I got it in Vegas, from Las Vegas, from a very beautiful gem shop. It's owned by very beautiful people. And I have, you know, like I'm going back to me being able to speak into my truth and be able to talk about it. So if you're into crystals, lapis is very deep into speaking your truth, accepting your voice. So I carry that with me a lot. That. And, you know, you working with that and throat chakra and all of that. But then my other necklaces, my machete, because it's a protector, it's a provider from my sister Patria, who is amazing. My initials, my rose quartz, just for my heart, and my little crate because I love vinyl and I love records and music is my healer. Aww. So yeah, just, you know, carrying that with me because you see it. It's your, you know, you look in the mirror, you see your necklaces, you know, and it lets people also see who you are too as well. It's something that most people, if they're not looking at your smile, your face, they'll look at your jewelry or accessories and stuff. So yeah, but that's definitely what I carry with me always in my heart and my soul.
I feel like Scorpios should always wear a blue pendant or something around their neck, because I wear blue, but this is you do have I have an aquamarine, but this really is like, and my opalite, and these really open up my throat chakra, make me feel grounded. Because
we have to, even though we're truth bringers, that's something like we really are. So it's necessary for us to be able, and it protects. It also does, because sometimes we could be. Well,
I know,
you're like very like this.
We mean well. Yes. We really do.
We really do.
Sometimes it's just that it's like, you know, there's a level of consciousness that we want you to have for yourself.
Absolutely.
And I get that that's your journey and you get to search and find that. But sometimes people get a lackadaisical and just like stagnant, and you need that Scorpio to sting you, remind you, keep it going. Come on. Get up, do it.
Yes,
I really appreciate you coming and sharing space with me, and like, whoa, this is my first show, and I feel really like welcomed by you.
I am
just like
honored.
So much warmth and spoke about this, and then it's happening. I really think like people are sometimes afraid to manifest stuff or talk about stuff because like if I talk about it, no. But really, I feel like there's power in talking about stuff.
Absolutely. You have to. You got to put it out in the universe.
Yeah.
Like you have to claim it. You have to attract it towards you. And our voice, the world is sound, so it reacts on vibration. So. If we're not talking about it, how else does it get to you?
Exactly.
It's huge. But I have to congratulate you because you've been talking about this since we've met. And fruition, look at that.
It's happening. Yes. It's here.
Blessings.
Yes.
Thank
you. Oh my God. So good.
Yay. I love it. I
appreciate you.
Of course.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So that is self-care. And really, you know, take that extra moment to slow down. And maybe you just start with putting on your lotion slower. Maybe you just start with like really putting the attention to brushing your teeth a lot slower. Try doing something slower. And then the next trick is use the opposite hand that you normally use. So maybe you brush your teeth with your left hand if you're right-handed, or, you know, vice versa. And sitting down to put your lotion on is really a good thing too. And for guys, I would say do the same thing with lotion. I think lotion is such a simple way to like show care to yourself.
Yeah.
With like, it's like a very simple, basic starter. And
summertime's coming, so now all our skin's gonna be out, so we need it.
Summertime is coming. So that'll be so good.
Yes.
Oh my God. So if you are going outside, before you go outside, the other thing is, I want to tell this to all of my Black people. Stop using anything on your skin that you can't eat.
I should say that. Yes,
Right?
yes.
Like,
Use oil. As you're saying lotion, I was like, I use oil. So,
I don't
or
use,
butters, yeah.
I said lotion, but the truth is
Yeah,
I don't
we
use
know.
lotion.
Yeah.
I don't like
You
that's so lie. I may use like a cream for my hand, but it's usually like a shea butter cream.
Yeah.
And I truly try not to use any kind of lotions unless if it's like literally somebody's giving it to me and I'm like, okay, I guess my hands are ashy.
Yeah.
But really, I use olive oil. I spread olive oil all over my body, right out the shower. It's a really basic self-care thing. And if you take baths, if you can take baths more often, if you have a way to take a bath to submerge yourself into water, it's really powerful. There are so many things to do for yourself. Feed yourself correctly. Try to stay away from, store packaged foods. Store packaged foods are something that is a real basic way to pull you further away from yourself. Make yourself that meal. Start a little bit more raw. Give yourself some, time to cut up your vegetables and your fruits, and give your children better meals so they can also teach themselves to love themselves. Self-love comes from a very basic aspect of one really kind of being selfish. And there's nothing wrong with that moment of being selfish. Sometimes we need that time to slow down and be selfish so we can be there for others. Instead of having those outbursts where we're like, blah, 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 blah. And mostly those outbursts are happening because you haven't had the time or the energy to show to oneself. Then you're irritated and agitated with your children or your family. So I ask you to take your moments to be about you, and before you can move on to others, you'll find yourself more patient, happy, at peace, joy. There's one thing that I wanted to say to you guys really quick. I wanted to leave you all with something spiritual. I know. Okay. So something spiritual to leave you with, because ultimately, this is about spirituality. I want everybody to really take a moment to go back to your roots. I don't care what spiritual thing that lights you up, whether it be the Bible or the Quran or some Sikh book or whatever. But this particular, I will read a different scripture or passage out of different books. But today it's the Bible. And for the Bible, I wrote this down. I hand wrote it because my Bible is digital. So it's Galatians 5:22 and 23, and it says, "On the other hand, the fruitage of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faith, mildness, self-control. Against such things there is no law." So that means you get to be abundant and push your boundaries inside of being love, joy, peace, patient, kind, good, having faith, being mild, really understanding mildness, really engulfing yourself in that, and having self-control. And you will bring yourself to be more like God. This show is vulnerability. We are talking about having a space of self-perfection, finding your self-perfection through the spiritual teachings of all things around the world, and finding your truths so you can be more powerful and greater in everything that you do every single day. Thank you for joining us.
Cut.
Yeah,
Nice.
that was awesome. We didn't mention anything about the new moon.
Oh,
That was the one thing we didn't do.
No, we didn't.
Me too. Oh, it's all good. It's all good. It's a new moon. We know that it is.
It's a new moon, yeah.
But it's all good because these are new things, all new
Exactly.
energy, all new process,
So
like all this
good.
stuff. So
This is
I love
all
it.
very new.
Yes, this is really good.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm excited.